Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Swordhaven. And in this episode we're going to head into the inn and acquaint ourselves with the tavern staff. Let's start with the innkeeper's wife, just over here. The woman greets you with a nod. Hello, milady. A word if I may. You need to know that we only accept money and goods for our services. The innkeeper bends over the counter. Shush it almighty. The good woman doesn't need to hear that, Miggle. Just making sure. She bestows a cold smile on him. What was all that about? Well, I remember we gave one fella a bed and 2 days' worth of food for... What was the price again, husband dear? Nothing. The price was nothing. Oh, that's right. Nothing. Turns back to you. And since then, we decided to deal in goods and coin only, by which it sounds like she decided. You know, I sense there's a story behind this. Would you care to share it? Very well. It all started when this poetester barged into our tavern looking as if villains had been chasing him for the old 10-day. Thinks for a bit. Now, what was that lout's name? She's a sadistic bitch, isn't she? Strasd, the melodic minstrel. Strasd, the melodic minstrel. Yeah, I bet he's never going to hear the end of it. Yes, so he runs into the inn, grabs the biggest mug in sight, helps himself to an indecent amount of ale, then nearly chokes on the duck we had boiling in a pot. And all that without a single hail and well met. Can you imagine? Or perhaps he was maddened by thirst and hunger after an arduous trip. No, madness overrides basic manners. In a proper person, that is. And that ruffian was anything but proper. While we stood there dumbfounded, he drank himself to perdition and passed out on the table. I had to carry him to a haystack. The locals don't take kindly to soiled bards snoring where they rest their flagons. She rolls her eyes. Gave him a free haystack like a proper saint. I could encourage or just keep listening or say, look, get to the point, I've had enough of this. You know, I'll just keep listening for now. Stay a bit quiet. Come on, that cheeky buzzard arose with a belch so thunderous it woke the whole house. Then he prepared to leave. We both stood ourselves before the door and demanded payment, to which he started singing. If you put him in a haystack, he would be outside the building already, surely, so... Okay. Oh, preparing to leave, maybe he came in to fetch his things. To which the innkeeper attempts to sing. He's an innkeeper, he's not a very good singer. Oh, fair de Brel and Miggle, innkeepers so true, their hospitality shines like sweet morning dew. Wherever the road takes me, I'll sing out their praise, sending people their way until the end of my days. If you insist on repeating that foolish song, you might as well do the ending. She stares daggers at her husband and she sings back. I carry no blade, for I'm no fencer, but my words cut as deep, since I'm a big influencer. If they demand money, I'll sing only curses, so that Dobrel and Miggle will end up in hearses. Yeah, she's not so good at singing as her husband, is she? That does not scan anywhere near as well as the first one. Hark! 'Tis the song of extortion, I hear. Yes, exactly, and someone fell for it, hook, line and sinker. The woman nods at her husband, who flinches as if from a powerful blow. You know, he couldn't have persuaded you with a mere song. Did he do anything else? Some kind of magical trickery, perhaps? Why do you want to know? She squints at you and crosses her arms. Are you looking to swindle someone as well? No, but knowing his methods would help me avoid getting hoodwinked in the future should our paths cross. I suppose that's a noble cause. You see, the way that scoundrel behaved played a role. He acted loosely but in a firm way, gestured a lot, and... She spends a fair amount of time describing how the offending bard held himself during his extortionist act, showing you her interpretation of his body language, tone of voice, and many other things. All combined, these details enhance your own persuasive abilities. And that's about it, and we've gained 5 points in persuasion. Have you noticed anything suspicious in the village lately? Lately? No, I don't believe I have. You can ask my husband, maybe he knows something. Alright, can I ask you a couple of unrelated questions then? Nuh-uh, excuse me, but I got work to do. I see, in that case, allow me to bid you farewell. I hope you find your stay enjoyable. And we've met Miggle, the innkeeper's wife. Let's go meet the innkeeper himself, who got ripped off by Strazd, the persuasive minstrel. The balding innkeeper has an open, honest face that practically demands your trust. Fair day, my lady, and welcome to Debrell's Black Pearl Inn. It may not be as fancy as a Swordhaven alehouse, but I swear on my ancestors' graves that even the Eye Waidlot will be pleased with our hospitality. Now then, what can I get you? Food, drink, lodgings for the night? We have some chewing leaves from the Empire if you partake. Just say the word. We could ask to see what he's got. I doubt he'll have any glue, which would be the most useful thing for us right now. We could rent a room. What kind of stay are we in? We might very well want to, actually. The Black Pearl Inn. A fanciful name for a village tavern. There's a story behind that. My father worked this bar way back when I was but a wee bairn. And before that, it was owned by my gramps, who built it with his own 2 hands soon after he landed. A voyage to Nova Draconia, the old thing paid for with a single shimmering black pearl. You know. Is that thanks for sharing a shutdown? I'll listen to what's coming next. But there's also the important question how my grandfather got his grubby mitts on said pearl. Go on. Alright, let's hear it. It all depends on who you ask. My Aunt Laver, for instance, always said that grandfather got it from an hungry demon in exchange for being reborn as a swine in the next life, so that the demon might feast on his flesh. Ah, but of course, the old demonic pearl and swine trick. No, goodness no. The old bat was spreading false rumours. See, she always hated our family trade and used to say booze business is shirt's business. Can you believe it? Yeah, I don't want to upset you, but I think she was lying. Your grandfather really did turn into a swine. No, we're not gonna... He's been ripped off and conned once already, meaning it might be easy. So how did you really find the pearl? He shrugs. Grandfather noticed it in a bowl of mollusk pottage at a dockside tavern. The black pearl was floating amongst all manner of foul-smelling detritus that passed for ingredients, ready to become a family legend and namesake of a cosy, reasonably priced inn. The end. I see. I'm not going to ask about this yet. I will come back later and ask about this. Because one of the tests seems to be rigged. Right. That's quite a story, Debrell. I must leave for now. Just to check how badly we need to rest, and rest we must. Let's do that now then. For a modest price of 10 dinars, you can not only get a comfortable cushion stuffed with the finest air around, but also a free meal. Our famous Nova Draconian clam chowder. What do you say? No, apparently I'm not that tired. I am that tired. Do I not have enough money? I do not have enough money. Well, okay then. In which case, why don't you show me your wares? Right away. Right, we got a couple of pearls here. Maybe you could open a restaurant chain. A bone statue. Blue quartz, an opal, some dice. And an enamelled brooch. And a silver ring. We're on a roll here. And a peacock feather. Okay. That's all looking pretty good. The rest is all stuff we can use later on. We'll have some money for that. Thank you very... Ooh, but we don't have the money for that, though, do we? Okay. Now we'll rent a room. Let me show you the way. We'll go bed down for the night, get a nice solid rest, get all our health back, and head outside. So now we're looking for wolves and barbarians, but there are also other things around town. I think I would like to continue my exploration of the village for a bit.
I'm on it.
Which way do I want to go? Okay, I'll head in this direction. I will come back in and loop around afterwards. I think I will explore the eastern side of the village next. It's not where the wolves are, but it's where I'm going to go. Why? Who is this fellow and what could he want? Well, let's check this scarecrow first. Okay. It's all going to go to a good use, I promise. This scrawny, middle-aged fellow gazes morosely at an old fishing net. Name's Elmed. Don't believe I've seen you around the village before. I'm Gwyneth of the Lakes. I just washed up on these shores. Well, in that case, welcome to Clamreach, Gwyneth of the Lakes. What do you do here, Elmed? Are you a fisherman? By Veln's black breeches, no. I'm a pearl diver. I take a deep breath and scour the bottom of the sea for my wee silvery beauties. Once a month I take my catch into the city and sell it all. Do you make a lot of money doing that? Haha, no, ma'am. Would I be living like this if I did? He shrugs. I'll never get rich, but I don't answer to any lord either. Got it. Something else I wanted to ask. Have you noticed anything suspicious lately? Oh, plenty. But, not lately, no. Right, let's go back to this. We'll loop back through this. Is there anything I can assist you with? Well, since you ask, last week I was waking up the clams to check their shells and I came upon this strange statue. Ugly bloody thing, isn't it? Elmed produces a slime-coloured figurine, slime-coloured, not slime-covered, figurine, made of some porous stone. It looks like 3 tentacles growing up from a rock twined together. Near the top, each of them sports a round, staring eye. Oh, quest, okay. We'll make a holy sign. Any idea what it's supposed to be? Nope. Must be some kind of barbarian thingy. I don't especially like their art or totems or whatever you call them, but this thing is especially awful. He looks at the statuette. Something about it gives me the shivers. Don't your people worship one barbarian god, Darain? We do, but that's different. Darain is like, you know, normal. A regular old god. Nothing too weird about him. He looks at the statue. This thing, on the other hand, just feels alien. Oh, you never know. Maybe back in the day, Darain was depicted in the same alien manner. Hey, now choose your words carefully. Darain is not some chaos monster, but a local deity, and you'd be wise to show some respect to him. Don't you know that the deepest levels of the abyss are reserved for blasphemers? Well, calm down, eh? What do you intend to do with this figure, anyway? I don't really know, but it could be worth a bit of coin. Why don't you take it and ask around? If you manage to sell it, I'll split the proceeds with you. Is it wise to place your trust in a random stranger? You know, you're right. Give me 100 dinars, then I'm not risking anything hand over the statue. If you manage to sell it to someone, we'll split the proceeds and I'll return you the bail money. Sounds good? Could try being persuasive. Risks are too high. You gotta be kidding. Listen, arsehole, you better give me this whatever it is, or I'll decide if I want to split. You know what? Right, look, okay, I'll take my leave for now. Maybe I can change my mind later when I actually have some money. Of course. Stop by any time.
Nice,
I'm not going to go in his house while he's sitting there watching the door. But I'm going to pick some flowers. And we'll clear out a bit more of this map. Oh, yeah, there is another one here. Great. A medium handle, really? And it's not stealing, you say? Bit sus, but okay. We'll have to be a bit more... An incense pouch. Okay, and a hatchet. Fine, we're good for now. It's not really our stuff, so let's just carry on mapping out around the back of this house here. And then we'll head out the gates into the territory we know contains flebberflies. And we also know flebberflies are highly dangerous, due to being very hard targets. Why, look at this old tree stump containing fly honey. We also dug up a locked chest over here with a complex lock that we cannot yet handle. We probably leave it as is. Can we get any further view down here? No, we're cut off at this point. And where is that chest we dug up? It's somewhere around here. There's a big white arrow on the path pointing to it, so we can find it again if we need to quite easily. Okay. There it is. Journeyman lock. Oh, it now includes the difficulty of the lock. So previously it wouldn't include the difficulty of the lock in early access. You'd have to attempt a lockpick, which would fail. And then if you'd failed enough times, it would tell you how hard it was. Then, to find out again, if you'd forgotten, you'd have to come back and attempt a lockpick again, and it would just instantly fail and tell you the difficulty. But now you can just mouse over to no. Now I'm taking a bit of a gamble here, because we want to go and fight the wolves. And we have limited resources at our disposal. That almost looks like we could dig there, but... Okay, some blood moss, sure. We'll find a use for that at some point. Anyway, my point being, why waste valuable resources when we could go fight the wolves first and see what resources we have left for other endeavours? The wolves could be very dangerous. Okay. And this area, whilst it contains its dangers, they may be a little more spread out and less concentrated than a wolf pack, which will tend to stick together. Oh, a snake! Are there a badger and a wolf nearby? Quite possibly. Actually, quite a lot of badgers. We don't need no stinking badgers, he says, like a twat who takes drugs and watches shit films that mean nothing about badgers. Okay, sure, we can be entangled. We'll still be right next to you. Traniotta coming in there with his axe. And missing completely. Like an absolute wally. Okay. I'm too used to having these two the other way around. I will probably swap them after this fight. Right about now, in fact. I don't need that, I just need to go like that. There we go. That's what I'm used to. Let's continue to clear out a bit more map here. Okay. So about here. Oh, giant flebberfly hive, okay. And here's some flebberflies, just to give us a hard time. And the flebberflies are considerably more lethal now in the early game, because back when damage threshold was a straight number, an amount of points that would be ignored, it was much more effective as they have a rather low damage. Whereas now that it is a percentage of damage that is reduced. Wow, our knight did good. It means we're going to be taking more damage from them in the early game.
I'm on it.
Speaking of which, there's some more flebberfly honey. And never mistake this honey produced by blood-sucking flies for food. In fact, it's highly flammable and an irritant to boot. So a crafting ingredient, but not something we really want to put in our mouths. Unless we want some free dentistry, known as tooth removal and life removal. I shall continue my exploration up this slope now that I've cleared out that little area there. And now... oh, orb weavers from all the way over there. Why, you horrid thing, you. Axe attacks. And then some. Right, let's step around to allow another in. 73 is a good chance. Go for it.
I'll put you down.
That is something.
Nice and smooth.
Let's clear out the area first before investigating that sound. And I'll have to be cautious because our knight is getting caught at the back a little too often. Someone over there is cursing the spiders, calling out warnings, and they appear to be ensnared or enmeshed in some kind of great web. So let's make sure there are no other spiders around before approaching. Now here is a fairy ring with a skeleton in the middle. We will investigate shortly. These spiders aren't giving us too much of a hard time, but they can be quite dangerous.
How about you die?
Now let's take a look at this skeleton. We have a worn knife, a book called Forest Gifts, 2 sheets of paper tied with a length of waxed thread. The shaky writing is faded but still legible, so barely a book really, and some coins. Find a deep deciduous forest, and enter within as far as you are able. Dress plainly as if for a day of labour, and carry no holy symbols. Sounds like you're setting yourself up to be mugged or something. Choose a serene place suitable for meditation. A mushroom ring and a sun-dappled meadow where the wind in the verdant leaves sounds like a chorus of faraway voices. Sit upon a carpet of moss or the trunk of a fallen tree. Close your eyes and empty your mind of worries and fears. Call out to your hosts using these exact words. "Oh, kindly people of the woods, come out, for I bear a most precious gift." Though you hear gentle whispers, smell honeysuckle and lemongrass, or even feel the tickle of tiny wings near your ear, keep your eyes firmly shut. Call out again, "Thank you for welcoming me to your court. Please accept the gift I have brought you, the gift of my name. Do with it as you please and reward me as you see fit." The rest of this page has been roughly torn away. The remainder of the ritual remains a mystery. It seems that the remainder of the ritual is get eaten by spiders. Now let's clear out this area. There might be one more. And if there is, it may be safe anyway. Alright, let's approach this fellow. Somebody's ensnared in a giant spiderweb, and it seems he's still alive. "I hear someone coming. Brother, sister, whoever you are, save me. I beseech thee in the dragon's holy name and those of his divine pantheon and all the prophets." how did you end up in this predicament? I was heading to Swordhaven, where I got waylaid by people catchers. They wanted to sell me into slavery. I ran into the woods to escape them. And straight into this spider's den. He shivers. These monsters don't hunt men, but if you stumble into their lair, you're as good as dead. I see. And what will I get for helping you? Sister, I have nothing, but doesn't the dragon say one should always help a neighbour in need? Rescue me and it'll be to your credit when you one day stand before him. Indeed, I'll look for a way to untangle him. Hey, could you scratch my nose? I can't reach. Sure, I'll scratch his nose. After relieving his itch, you examine the web. It might be harder to examine the web if he's struggling and thrashing around and asking us to scratch his nose. It'd be quite a feat to free the poor fellow with only your hands. You'd be better off using a blade, knife, dagger or sword. We will sever the webbing and free him, and we used to actually need to have a knife or dagger for this, but now I think more options are available. Fortunately, there was a knife on the body right over there in case we didn't have one. Thank thee kindly, sister. The dragon sees every good deed from his throne, including yours. Take care and see you soon. I don't know if we'll ever see him again, but we'll watch him go, and he disappears off into the distance. Possibly
I'll do it.
Walking straight out of this tale. Which we may continue by our... Yes, there is another spider. Okay. Lesser hoary orb weaver. I see. Get in there and mess it up with your axe. Oh, I should have done his free axe attacks thing. Okay. Currently, our knight has been feeling a little left out. Let's see if he can strike for justice with this little hammer, and indeed he does. I'm not expecting to get enough experience points to level up by doing our exploration here, but it will all add up in the end.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, what was this? Back here? Oh, nothing, just some shadows. Okay. Thought I saw the name of something appearing. Alright, looks like we're almost at the edge of the map. Let's pop out round here and go ta-da! From behind would be a really big rock. What's this? Some kind of massive toad. And it's called Old Krupis. Well, our knight doesn't need to worry about getting into combat now. We will bash him on the bonce. And then bash him a couple more times. While our allies rush in to aid us. And there we go. There's a bite, and a hop, and a hop, and a hammer. Do 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 do. Oh, Krupis. Do 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 do. Gets hammered by the knight.
Come here. I need a new coat.
Oh, lady, that was feeble. We got a farmhand with a hatchet. He thinks he's good. He's kind of okay. We have some fish, an emerald, some buffonid secretions, whatever a buffonid is. The game Dark Rituals Malleus Maleficarum also calls their giant frog monster Bufo something. So it might be Greek or Latin for some kind of frog thing. A hallucinogenic substance scraped off the back of a slain buffonid, used in the preparation of paralyzing toxins and other poisonous substances. And Zagar's Amulet. Minus 5% dodge chance, plus 5 carry weight capacity. You know what? if we didn't have such a good backpack, we could give it to anyone. Someone who's not really dodging very much could definitely wear it, however. This amulet belonged to the relatively famous knight Zagar the Fat. Enchanted by his fairy godmother, it helped Zagar to... Is that Jagar? To carry more food, but also slowed him down. Unfortunately, when the gluttonous knight met the angry water spirit called Old Cruppis near the village of Clamreach, this exact flaw of the enchantment made him into food instead. A knightly amulet for a knight. There we go. Let's go get this flower, and obviously I'm trying to clear out as much mysterious shade on the water as possible. For now, we're just skirting the area of the graveyard, continuing to, scout out the riverbank, back towards where we had a bit of a hard time in the last episode. We may need to rest again after this, and we're not getting that much money, so yeah. There we are, these little things. They were dagger fangs, I believe. We can absolutely get here. The old Cooper is just up there on the other side of the fence, making his barrels. We may need to use a few healing items, though, in this area, because there could still be a few threats. Let's hold off for now. And there's something very strange about these graves that make them look like they're covered in straw, which makes them look like chicken coops or something. Let's just clear out over here a bit. Got ourselves a nice blue flower. Excellent.
Nice and smooth.
And then if we go this way, we should find the notorious Loimar's bell. But first... Oh no! Nasty stinging flubberflies! Well, we need some accuracy... Whoa, no, accuracy against flubberflies. I've got this back where I'm used to, but I had to take a moment to remind myself. That works. Come on, you can do it. If you B&Q it. But not if they do you first. Oh yeah, hit him. He's got a lot of health at the moment, actually. And then we just try feebly for the kill. In all fairness, this thing's probably going to die to one hit. It's just a matter of getting that hit. And we don't want to waste our potion of accuracy. There we go. Excellent stuff. Let's just go grab this flower and absolutely clear that. There we go. And now let's go interact with this bell. An ancient-looking bell hangs from a wooden support before you, swaying ever so slightly in the breeze, albeit without making even the smallest sound. Let's study the bell more closely. And fail. You quickly come to the conclusion that there's nothing special about it. No markings, wards, or magical signs are evident upon its weathered surface. Well, let's ring the bell. You pull on the rope, and the clapper conjures a melodic pealing from the mouth of the bell. Suddenly, this lovely bonging heralds a rather unpleasant change in the sky, which was perfectly clear just moments ago. Before your eyes, rain clouds gather from above, and in the next moment, fat drops are wetting the grass at your feet. Oh, come on now, this is ridiculous! As you ponder whether you should go to escape the drizzle becomes a downpour. What terrible luck indeed.
Fine, I'll do it.
At least we got some experience points from it. But yeah, not the best turnout. Oh no! Flubberflies! Our ill fortune continues, and now they hurt rather more than before. Oh no! Ow!
Oh, no.
Okay, now they're behaving like a typical Infinity Engine game where everything picks on the main character to the detriment of their own health, because they just know that if they kill a companion character, you keep on playing. If they kill you, you have to reload the game. Okay, we'll take the Potion of Prowess and attack. Should have gone for the accurate swing. Oh well. Choppy choppy. Double choppy. Yes. Excellent stuff. Now, it's time for our knight, and I've temporarily forgotten his name. Gintar, of course. Brother Gintar is the best party member because he has healing hands, which will remove any condition, including the bleeding condition. There we go. And with 7 action points left, he can't make any attacks. But he's theoretically a bit of a lifesaver, and she didn't have a healing potion to keep on her feet, unfortunately. Oh! So many attacks. Yeah, you attack the knight, he's nice and healthy.
The aches of the body shall temper my soul. It's rather awkward, but I think I'm dying.
Let's go for accuracy.
This one's mine.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I clicked on it. Right, there we go. Ow. Right. Are you sure you don't have... Okay, fine. Well, we'd better just be attacking then, I think. And you can see the massive cooldown on healing hands. It is a once in an encounter lifesaver. Oh, that's brutal. Okay. Oh yeah, attack the farmhand. Why not? He's quite healthy. Okay, we can kind of take this a bit. Oh, block. Excellent. Right. Let's be grateful for our strike there. Ow. And run away a bit. We don't want to lose our to-hit chance, so we'll just go straight for the attack rolls. There we go, and we live. Well, that was pretty traumatic, so we're going to rest right here in the open, right next to unknown territory, because that's stupid. And maybe even rest out this rain. No.
Okay.
No, let's have a little more sense and just run into town where it's dry. Oh, people, you didn't have to... Oh, that looks like bait. If that's some kind of picnic with honey sandwiches and the insects have come from, that is rough. Let's find ourselves some shelter under these trees and rest here. It'll be slightly better. I mean, it's still raining, although not quite as much necessarily. Alright, let's see what surprises this picnic may hold. Oh, some Schmakovka, probably alcohol. Oh, increases luck and strength, but not much else. And some provisions. Excellent, we essentially got a free rest. I highly doubt there'll be any more glue left in town for us, so we'll just be... Hello. I spy with my little eye. Something begins with Flubberfly Hive. Let's get that blackness gone first. Said, gone. Oh, come on. Seriously. You're going to be like that, are you, game? You're going to insist on keeping that little bit of darkness there and not let us get rid of it? More. And more.
I'm on it.
I don't know if we could ring the bell again. It's probably not worth it on the same day. I'm not ringing that again. I'm not sure if it's possible to get a different result. Maybe if you have very high luck, something positive will happen, but isn't it about the rain tomorrow? The weather tomorrow, not the weather today. You ring the bell and then the next day you see what the weather's like. So for it to be such an instantaneous change, that's saying like really bad luck. Yeah, let's head indoors. Or at least into the village. I'll continue my circuit of the southern side. So we have a man who's interested in selling a disturbing Lovecraftian statue that he found in the water. In an area that is occupied by a fishing cult. That's not an ominous coincidence at all. Yes, it is. It blatantly is, by the way, just in case you were wondering. That was sarcasm. The chasm of the Tsars, implying that in Russia, when they had the Russian Revolution and got rid of all the Tsars, they chucked them into such a big chasm and threw so many of them down there that they renamed it the Tsar chasm. Because that's a really stupid thing and there's no way that would even make sense because it would have to translate from Russian into English for starters. But it's the kind of joke you can make if you're bored and it's late at night and you don't have... Oh shit! I saw it just a moment too late.
At your service.
Hey, guess what? Stop bleeding, man. I said, stop.
Nope.
Why can't he do it on
Sorry.
himself? I could have sworn he was able to use this on himself previously.
I can't do that.
Or is it still on cooldown? Oh well. Oh, we got feathers, didn't we? Right. I was wondering what was on it. And then I remembered. Okay. The people round here do like to put traps in their fields. There must be a lot of dagger fangs about. Oh, check that on the other side of the fence. I mean, we know roughly what's there, right? Very roughly. Might as well go check now. So this would be the village headman's farm. We could almost call it Traniota's old place of work. Is there anything in here? Mud pie. That's not a pie. That's not mud. That's fucking cow pat right there. Look at the size of it. That's not a mud pie. That's a country pancake. Get your terminology right, game.
Fine, I'll do it.
You know the old saying, what would you rather do? Run a mile, jump a stile, or eat a country pancake? And when you say, oh, I'd eat a country pancake, that sounds easy, then they tell you it's cow shit. Oh, you're not going to be an absolute bastard, aren't you? Not let me get into that bit and clear it. Okay. You know what? I think we should go do something soon. I have a plan. I haven't checked that one. Let's do that. We might even find some traps to disarm for experience points. Let's try not to risk Gintar's health, though. Okay, what we got? Oh! Some spectacles. If your attention is less than 5, +1 attention. Brother Gintar does only have 4 attention, but these use the same slot as his amulets, so let's not do that just now. A knight with glasses is a bit of a ridiculous sight, as he's liable to get in so many fights. They'll probably get broken really quickly. Oh, that's a lot of logs. Okay. Well, let's head into this house and probably regret it fairly soon if it's the house I think it is. Okay, there's a fellow sitting down near a table, and this is the house I thought it was. A lanky, booze-reeking man tenses up and grasps a dagger tucked into his belt. By the 12th prophet, what do you want, girl? Oh, calm yourself down, I just wanted to talk. And do we have something to talk about? He spits on the dirty floor. Yeah, I didn't think so. What's your problem, anyway? That's none of your ploughing business now, is it? You're right, it's not. I can ask you some other questions? Better take to your heels, resting a hand on his dagger. I don't much care for nosy blow-ins. Can you at least tell me your name? Do you really need to know? Rolls his eyes. Ah, fine. Call me Aldar. Alright, let's just walk away for now. We might come back here later, but for now, we're going to leave him be. The noisome fellow scowls at you. My throat's getting really dry. I should go get a drink in a bit. Anytime now, actually, seems like a good idea. So that is the House of Aldar the Drunk. I think it's even called something like Drunk's House on the map. Anything here? A long handle. Okay, we can make a lot of stuff. So essentially, we're finding the handles. If we can get the metal, we can make a great variety of weapons in this area. So if we were highly specialized in crafting and wish to create a particular kind of weapon for a special weapon skill, we could probably do that. Except there's not that much metal in this area for us to utilize. So let us absolutely come look at this. Cauldron boiling over a great fire here. Bubbling away there. This is our alchemy station. And we can craft some basic things. So for tonics, we can do weak accuracy potion, weak potion of innovation, weak potion of resilience. We don't have what it takes to make... We'd need saltpeter to make some stinky powder. We could make a weak antidote, which gives 25 poison resistance and removes poison. Nice. I don't recall experiencing very much poison in the early game, mind you. A weak healing potion, we could probably do one of them. How many? We got 8 empty bottles and oh goodness, yeah. We can make some weak poison to coat our weapons and some provisions. Provisions don't require the mortar and pestle, so let us absolutely make 2 of those. Then we'll go for a few weak healing potions. About 4 seems good, but note that we are using up durability and we don't want to waste the whole thing. Oh, it seems like it might be a pass or test and it's not an automatic. Oh, that was a big fail, see? That's probably enough for now. Let's go 3. 1. And then we'll decide if... he's pretty healthy. Okay. She can have 2. He can have 3, but he may need to use one of those fairly soon. A replacement mortar and pestle would be very expensive, so we should probably increase that skill before using it again. Okay, we are clearing out that darkness there, that's great. And this house, near to the alchemy crafting station, is well worth a visit. There's a lovely old lady here. Let's pay her a visit, shall we? When you announce your presence to the hunchbacked old crone, She jumps as if scalded and nearly spills the contents of a little cloth bag she sports on her girdle. Ah! What are you bleeding mind? Horrors Toa take you for sneaking up on old Delarani like that. Nearly lost my herbs, I did. What would I sell if you in Great Sven? Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. It won't happen again. See that it doesn't, dagnabbit. Now, don't just stand there like a mewling moss piglet. You here for my potions and herbs? Of all the things I do for this village, it seems to be the only one they care about. Now, this here is the impossible test that I only passed once during the very early stages of early access, and never again, and suspect the difficulty has been increased. Actually, I'm here to ask whether any of the villagers have been acting strangely lately. Now, if you'd asked me whether they were acting rude, ungrateful, silly, or claiming my potions were faulty, I'd have a few stories to tell, but strange? Nothing comes to mind. You have a faint suspicion that she's withholding something, but nah, that can't be right, right? Anyway, there's nothing in her words to confirm your hunch, so it's probably better to ask someone else. Now, I'm not sure what's happened to this test, if it's been removed or just made impossible, but early on, succeeding this test, she'd tell you to go and talk to someone else, which would seriously shortcut the investigation and bypass an unpleasant alternate route that would be nice to be able to avoid. Again, I pretty much have the same stats I did when I passed this originally, so I don't know what's changed. I remember you mentioned you're not just... And I did initially do this before all the other options, so the others don't necessarily make it easy. What can you tell me about this trinket? This amulet given to me by Zanvor? Demoria Zer! This thing looks like a really powerful artifact. I don't know what it is, but you sure as a Toa Deliot Zagin better hold on to it. Right, okay. You mentioned you're not just a herbalist. What else do you do for the village? Oh, forget I said anything. You youngsters aren't made from the same hardened clay we old folks are. Even a weensy sprinkle of the eldritch horrors I deal with could knock you out cold, or worse. I am a Waidlot of the Dragon Faith. You can tell me about your predicament. 'Tis your funeral, she shrugs and leans in to whisper. Unbeknownst to anyone, this village is beset by the terrifying apparition of an old warlord, Troyden the Impaler. By chance, I met it on the shore one starless night and soothed its bloodlust with the gift of Specataea seeds. I've been keeping the vengeful spirit at bay ever since. So, do you still think me a foul-smelling old witch, or may not, who may or may not have pushed a fool of a husband into a well? Wait, what did you say about your husband? I don't know what you're talking about. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, spooky baby killing ghosts all over the village. Woo! Wait a minute, you were talking about... hang on, what's this about these Specataea seeds? It's our regional speciality. It is said that if you chew them hard enough, you can attune yourself to the spirits of the thinner planes of existence. She grabs a handful of seeds from one of her belt bags. Here, take a whiff, why don't you? No thanks, I think I'll pass. The Dragon Faith probably would not approve. A wise choice. Her eyes glint in the twilight of the dimly lit hut. So, back to your spirit story. You think I'm lying, huh? Not surprising. Restraining spirits is a thankless job, not to mention tough. For example, I recently had to sneak past a couple of lizard monsters on my way to the shore, but even without hazards like that, this hag isn't getting any younger. She sighs, lost in thought for a moment, then her eyes light up. Ha! If you're so smart, how's about you give a spoon of Specataea to the ghosts instead of dainty old me? You'll learn something and also help me conserve my strength for the future. Alright. We can try. The old herbalist claps her hands, favouring you with a gap-toothed grin, a pouch of seeds and a moth-eaten headscarf to top it off. Here's the Specatea. When you're down on the beach at night, stand between two huge rocks wearing my old headscarf and holler, Zume etsu kin ak. Be patient. Troyden the Impaler will find you. Zume etsu, is that some kind of divination? It means I come bearing gifts in my native Slurium, you silly goose. And why do I need to wear a headscarf? Gods below, to trick the man-eating ghost into thinking you're me, a frail headscarf-wearing old girl. Do you have any more silly questions, or can we move on? Zume etsu kin ak. No, I think that's everything. I'll look into it. Zumbi denkatu ak. Go with my blessing. Just don't chew the seeds yourself. Give them to the ghost. Right. You know, it's nearly 5 in the afternoon. We could start heading that way now. Zoom etsu kin ak. I'm not sure that's a reference to anything, but we'll go and do the Zoom etsu kin ak and see how it goes. Oh, and there's a little bit of map there we can uncover, so we might as well do that too while we're at it. Zoom etsu kin ak. Clearly not a barbarian pronunciation. The Slurium are an interesting people, in that they're one of the reasons I feel this game has a very sort of German art style. Master lock. Well, we'd better find ourselves a talented lockpicker at some point then. Not that we're going to get one anytime soon, mind you, unless we use the modded companion. She's okay at lockpicking. But then again... So yeah, I asked about her, and I got a couple of votes back. I got one against, based around the concern that she might feel like she doesn't belong in the world and is a bit immersion breaking. On that front, I'd say she feels like she belongs to the world, right? But isn't necessarily in it. By which I mean, as we go around and perform quests and get involved in things, our companions might occasionally interject or do a little thing here or there, or we can ask them their opinion. She seems less aware of what's going on around her in the world than our other party members, and there's actually a reason for that, which we may discover later on. But in conversations and interactions with her, she clearly is a part of the world. She talks about stories that exist in the world, and we're not going this way, are we? We're going to the beach. Zoom etsu kin ak. So she'll talk about the constellations, she won't talk about things we've met or things we are doing, but she'll talk about, stories her parents told her growing up and things like that. So she feels like she belongs in the world as a part of it, but she's also distant from it, as if she's kind of zoned out a bit or away with the fairies and not quite paying full attention.
I'm on it.
And we had one vote for her along the lines of, yeah, what the hell, have another person along, it's fine. So we want to find these two... Oh, the sandcastle's back, let's not destroy it. I think these are the two big rocks, but I'm not sure for certain. Our other companions from the voyage have now all moved on, leaving some of their makeshift camp behind, including the starting chest. These could also be two big rocks. Let's go wait a bit till darkness. But I don't want to actually rest. So it goes 6 hours, 1 more hour, It's gone midnight.
Nice
Let's
and
go
safe.
looking for a place between big rocks and say Zoom Etsu Kin Ak. You look around. This is the place. A beach of rock formations. A beach with rock formations on either side, and this is the time. The dead of night. The only thing left is to speak the summoning words and wait for the angry spirit of Troyden to appear. Zoom Etsu Kin Ak. Etsu, not Estu. Though you're certain you recited it correctly, the spell doesn't seem to work at first. But then, just as the herbalist promised, a glowing form resembling an old man shambles out of the bushes. It moves rather awkwardly for a weightless spirit. Can we go up for? Can we... Note recorded. What note? What have I done? Okay, well, I'll find out later on, I suppose. It's a ghost! Ooh, who da... And why does he look like Alan Woke? He stops mid-sentence. Where's the old crone? Is she alright? What do you think? Running errands for spirits isn't the best thing for an old woman's health. I never wanted anything to happen to her, and don't make it sound like any of this is my fault. She was the one who suggested... Never mind, mortal. Did she tell you what must be done to, keep my curse at bay? The obviously uncomfortable spirit rubs its pale face, and you notice several flakes of otherworldly aura fluttering to the ground. Ah, you're not a real ghost, are you? The so-called ghost pauses for a moment, mouth agape, then gives you a shame-faced nod. Nay, I'm not. You got me. Wait, we can just attack outright? That was just a trick question. Obviously you're a ghost. You're glowing and all that. So, what's your story then? There's not much of a story. I'm just a simple geezer who got mistaken for a revenant in need of sacrifices. That's about it. Oh, come on now, my good fellow. We've already established you're not a ghost. At least tell me why you perpetuated this charade. So maybe... high personality means you don't need to make a persuasion check. Name's Birkin. With a long sigh, the faux phantom begins his tale. Oh, I became a bit of a vagabond after losing it all in the war. No fortune, no aim in life, just a rickety old cart and a mule named Wooly. I take it you don't have them anymore. I don't, for you see, in my travels I met a saint, Pygidius the Wise, and just in time too, because I was getting really desperate. Seeing me boozing all the time, the wise man pointed at my cart, and poor Wooly then proclaimed, "This home on wheels, my beast of burden, they are the source of your despair. Give them to me and be free." Wait. He doesn't sound that like a saint because he's saying give them to me, not give them away. It seems you heeded his advice, good sir. Who wouldn't have? Let me tell you, having no roof over your head and no companion really makes you forget the pettifoggery of life. But the sage wasn't through with me yet. Now freed of earthly possessions, you're useless, declared Pygidius. Why not try fixing the world by taking a geyser? And yes, that is how it's pronounced, despite the spelling. It's an old Celtic word. And so I did, vowing to live as a hermit in the deep woods, eating only lasda nuts until I died, praying for an end to war like the one that robbed me of my cheer. If there are no wars, where would brave warriors show their valour? What are lasda nuts? Little brown things that look like squirrel droppings. Never mind that. It's not about the nuts. 'Twas all about the magics. You know, when you promise to do something and in return the gods grant your wish. Did it work? It didn't, but that was my fault. You can't imagine how dull it was sitting around in a hollow tree stump praying and eating those bloody nuts for nigh on a year. So I stole a keg of barley wine from a bunch of drunken brigands and went on a righteous bender, chasing a fox with a stick, howled at the moon, and danced with the spirits until I finally collapsed in a seaside cavern. Well, not the one the lizards lived in, right? Arch one eyebrow as high as humanly possible, but say nothing. It'll make sense, trust me. See, I slept near a patch of glow shrooms in that cave and ended up covered in their dust. I didn't notice it myself, but the witch sure did. She saw me in all my glowing majesty while gathering herbs near the shore and thought I was the spirit of some local warlord. You don't even know who you're pretending to be. I don't. The hag made it all up for me. Haven't you met that woman? She was sure as eggs I was some long-dead fellow named Troyden the baby killer. Come to lead an army of undead against our village, have you? Well, guess what, old Delarani will quench wrath with a little sacrifice she has up her sleeve. And before I could say nay, she stuffed my hand full of seeds and hobbled off cackling about saving everyone's sorry hide. Next time we met, I didn't want to spoil her little fantasy, so I played along. If your next meeting with the herbalist wasn't planned, why were you once again covered in glowing dust? What can I say? The caves are warmer than my hermit's stump, and the shrooms let me see in the dark without mucking about with flint and tinder. You know... I thought something otherworldly, or at least sinister, was going on. Turns out it was just plain old tomfoolery. Aye, tomfoolery, but no more. From now on, I'll resume the life of a proper geyser-abiding hermit. But anything is better than sitting alone chewing barbarian trickster seeds with bats, newts, and other vermin skulking about. Well, how about chewing specatea seeds by a friend? Is that the hermit, or the old woman, or us? Yeah, go on. Off you go, but I'm going to have to tell her the truth. What can I do about that? Take care. And away he goes. Let's go and take one more look at the sandcastle before heading back to the village. Although it is very late at night, and we could do with bedding down for the night. And there's the remains of a fire pit right here. We do have an injured party member. Sure, because if we rest, it'll be morning. And we can go back to the old biddy. And tell her all about the ghost of Troyden the baby killer. Yeah, you know that's going to be the video title, don't you? Okay. Should we include the ghost of, or just call it Troyden the baby killer? Actually, we might just call it the ghost of Troyden. The appellation regarding to doing bad things to babies might not go down well for YouTube algorithm. In fact, I've probably said it too many times already. Right, so... especially as it isn't even true. As it wasn't Troyden at all, but some wacky hermit who was playing a Scooby-Doo game. Oh, you know what? Let's absolutely take this off, because it gives us -1 personality. Here we go. We can probably sell it if she doesn't want it back. I don't think we can break it down to make a bandage or a weapon wrapping or anything. And That looked almost like rain again for a moment, but it was just a trick of the light. You know what? We have gained a decent amount of experience though. That's Mila. We've spoken to her before. She's the one the old woman would have directed us to speak to. And there's a few people around the northern part of town we can go visit in a bit as well. Alright. Here we are. Let's make our reports. I do like that green load screen of a ship. It's very calming. Delarani, the village herbalist, greets you with a sly grin. The grass spirits warned me you'd be back, but I crushed them in my mortar nonetheless. So, about that ghost haunting the beach. Don't tell me you messed up and the ghost is now going to haunt us regardless of the gifts I offered. I so didn't want to turn anyone to a moss piglet today. What is a moss piglet anyway? Trust me, girl, you don't want to know. Well, it turns out your so-called ghost is a hermit who paints himself with glowing mushrooms. After you finish your story, Delarani is quiet for a long while. Finally, she shakes her head in disbelief. Gods below, I don't believe that bastard fooled me. I can't believe it. But all's well that ends well after all, and the best thing about it is that now I can sell my specatea seeds again, instead of wasting it on some lying vagabond. He's about to get so cursed, believe you me. Cursed to wonder the leaves and lichens as a good-for-nothing moss piglet. She snaps her fingers and looks up at you. As a token of my gratitude, you can help yourself to the next batch I prepared for that son of a fox. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing, but isn't turning someone into a moss piglet a little bit excessive? Excessive? Maybe. Warranted? Absolutely. Can I ask you a few more questions? And who's going to grind my dragon grass to a fine powder? Either trade or leave me be. Alright, well let's see your wares then. I just made something new. Glue? No glue. Bandages though. Yeah, we should probably get one of those. We got some nice money. We can sell a couple of pipes. I'm sure she'd enjoy using them to smoke something. A brass ring. Might be able to get a better price for it at the inn. She doesn't want her shawl back. I think in early access you could ask if she wanted the shawl back and she'd say no, you keep it. But I don't remember for certain. You know, we can part with this emerald as well. That is not a very good emerald if it's only for 16 gold. She doesn't have a spare mortar and pestle. If we get a bandage, just one. Okay, yeah, that's going to cost us a little bit, but the payoff might be alright. Here we go. I'd best be on my way. Don't forget my herbs are the best around. There was also a quest in early access where she could give you an experimental potion that would give you a hallucination, and you get attacked by a whole load of goblin type creatures, and she expected it to be a sexy hallucination so that she could sell it to rich people who get off on that kind of thing. Notes. Ghost ritual. Okay, okay, so it literally just copies the text and we can get rid of it. Excellent. So I better mark all these as done. I could do it off screen, but what the hell, I'm here now. There we go. We got the amulet. We're in Clan Reach, uninvited. So barbarians and the wolves. You know what? Sure, we could go fight some wolves next, but they may be in league with the barbarians. It is a new day, so let's go look for the Boyer and Fletcher, see if he has any glue for sale. The villager raises his gaze to you, his knife continuing to shape a length of wood independently of your wary eyes. I'm in the market for some bows. I don't have a lot, but maybe you'll find something useful. Glue! Perfect. We will pay with money. Come again, or not. Well, we'll leave you be for now, good sir, and go do something blatantly obvious. We're going to head through this little backyard outside the inn, and might as well take it round the side as well. There's a little bit of a hollow map in the middle of the inn. Let's try close that off. Excellent stuff. There is a chest there. I'm not going to go steal someone's stuff. Not today, anyway. And let's clear out this little field here at the back of this house, because otherwise it might remain dark on the map, especially if we can't get down there. So, I'm going to go over here and obviously make another article of protective gear.
Nice and smooth.
Right, so none of that. But under armor, absolutely. Let's make another leather doublet. And we shall wear this one. Just preparing ourselves for when we'll actually be able to get some kind of proper protective items. Alright, you know what? I think I'm getting... Whoa, no. No, no, no. I'm going to walk this way instead. Clear out a little more map exploration, you know? Yeah. And because my throat's getting rather dry, and the sight of this river is making me feel a bit parched, I may end the episode round about here.
I've spotted something.
What did you see, my lady? Oh, this suspicious looking large branch, beneath which is some saltpeter, just in case you wanted to make gunpowder. Yeah, I am going to end this one here. I hope you've enjoyed our little excursion into the outskirts of the village of Clamreach, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next time in the very next video. I'll say goodbye for now though, and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.